Today we're going to take a look at section 8-6, factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. The objective in this section is to factor trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Let's take a look at problem 1. Factoring 5x squared plus 11x plus 2. How do you do this problem? Let's take a look at this chart. I want you to be able to tell me, what did they do to fill out that chart? What numbers did they look at to come up with factors of 10? And how do they choose to pick 11, or I should say pick 1 and 10? When you put them together, you get 11. What made them pick those factors for this problem? So you have your equation, you have the chart. I need you to tell me, what did they do in order to find out which numbers or which factors they would use to solve their problem. So in this section, I'm not going to show you how to do it. You're going to have to tell me how to do this problem. Once you have done that, I want you to take a look at the next step they show you and tell me, what did they do to go from the original equation of 5x squared plus 11x plus 2 to get 5x squared plus 1x plus 10x plus 2, and then tell me, what did they do there to get their factored equation. Once you're done with that, I would like you to explain to me how they got x plus 2 and 5x plus 1 to be their final answer. So go ahead and do that. Explain how they came up with their factors 1 and 10, how they went from the original equation to the final answer. Let's take a look at got it number 1. Looking at got it number 1, the equation 6x squared plus 13x plus 5, take the information from the last problem to solve this answer. Pick your factors, pick which ones you need, and go ahead and give me the factored form of that equation. I will tell you that the answer that you should get is 3x plus 5 in parentheses and 2x plus 1 in the other parentheses. Your job is to tell me how you came up with that answer. Let's take a look at problem number 2, factoring this equation. So you have the equation and you have this chart. I need to explain to me how they came up with these numbers on top and why they picked negative 5, 9 to be your factored forms. Once you're done explaining what factors they use and how they got them, I would like you to explain to me how they came up with 3x squared minus 5x plus 9x minus 15 in the equation. Look at that equation, see what they did with those factors to come up with that equation. Go ahead and give that a try. The last thing I'd like you to do is tell me how did they get 3x minus 5 and x plus 3 as my final answer. So go ahead and take a few minutes to figure out what they did to get that final answer. Let's take a look at got it number 2. This time I'd like you to take the whole equation, 10x squared plus 31x minus 14, and go through all the steps that you did in the problem before to come up with your final answer. I'll show you what your final answer will be, but you need to tell me and show me the steps you took to solve that problem. So go ahead and work on that problem. Looking at problem number 3, given this equation, 2x squared minus 13x minus 17. What did they do to come up with this as my factors that I'm going to use? Again, explain to me what you did to get those factors to solve the problem. And then go ahead and work through the situation and come up with your final answer. Go ahead and work on that. I'll give you a hint. Your final answer is 2x plus 1 in parentheses and the quantity of x minus 7 in your other parentheses. Your job is to explain to me how they came up with that answer. Go ahead and take everything we have talked about to solve got it number 3, given that equation talking about the area of a rectangle. Go ahead, tell me your final answer, and show me how you came up with that answer. Looking at problem number 4, our last and final problem, I want you to tell me what they did starting with this equation, 18x squared minus 33x plus 12. What did they do to go from here to there using this chart? And after you've done that, then finally tell me what did they do in these steps to get this as the final answer. So go ahead and see and figure out what did they do and be able to explain to me how they went from the beginning of the problem to your final answer. Now let's see if you can do got it number 4. I know you can. Take everything that we've talked about in this section and take the equation 8x squared minus 3x minus 20. Take me through the steps, the chart, and how you get your final answer. Go ahead and do that and turn in to me what your final answer would be for got it number 4.